All right, Corrie fans, let's get stuck into next week on the cobbles because honestly, these episodes are going to leave us all talking. Just when you think the drama can't get any heavier, they throw in secrets, betrayals, and one hospital scare that might just change a family forever. We've got Lisa trying to force the truth out into the open, Carla caught in a web of lies she never wanted, and poor Tyrone facing a future he never imagined. And that's only scratching the surface. There are shady deals, broken loyalties, and even a flower shop bust-up. So, grab a cuppa, settle in, because I'm walking you through 10 big spoilers for 15 to 19 September. Some of these twists really could change the street for months to come. Let's start at the top with Lisa's mission for answers. 1. Lisa demands answers. Lisa has never been one to back down when something doesn't add up, and next week she proves it again. She's desperate to get to the bottom of Becky's shock reappearance. This isn't just about curiosity. It's about protecting Betsy and making sure her daughter isn't dragged through more chaos. Costello, who's been circling like a shark in this storyline, warns Becky to keep her head down. He's convinced that if too much comes out, both he and Becky could be looking at prison. Lisa confronts him directly, hoping he'll finally come clean. But in classic Costello style, he stonewalls her, refusing to give her the closure she's demanding. Elsewhere, Kid is starting to sense the danger Lisa's in. He warns Carla to keep Lisa away from Costello because he's not a man to trust. And then comes the shocker. Carla blurts out that Becky is alive. Kit's left floored, and suddenly this tangled mess just gets even more complicated. Lisa, though, doesn't stop there. She goes nuclear and threatens to go to the press unless Costello tells her every single detail about Becky's so-called death. The tension here is unreal, and honestly, this could be the point where the whole house of cards comes down. Carla urges Lisa to tell the truth. Carla's stuck right in the middle of this storm. She knows secrets never stay buried for long, and she's trying to push Lisa towards honesty. Carla gently suggests Lisa should tell Betsy the truth now rather than later, because hiding it will only cause more pain down the line. But Lisa just can't go there. She shoots Carla down and insists she won't drag Betsy through more heartbreak. Carla's not one to give up, though, so she goes directly to Becky. That leads to a gut-wrenching plea. Becky begging Lisa to let her see her daughter, even just for a moment. Lisa stands her ground. She's adamant. Betsy's been through enough, and reopening the wound will only make things worse. And then, in one of those quietly devastating scenes, Becky spots Betsy in the precinct, happily chatting with Ryan. She stands there watching her daughter from the shadows, torn between wanting to rush over and knowing she can't. The big question hanging here: will Becky break and finally reveal herself to Betsy? Or will Lisa manage to keep this secret sealed a little longer? 3. Roy feels betrayed by Carla. Roy's the heart of the street. He doesn't miss much, and he's never been one to tolerate lies. Next week, he finds Becky at number 6, pretending to be a colleague of Lisa's. Straight away, Roy smells something off. He doesn't play along. Instead, he calmly says he knows exactly who she is. He even reveals he spotted her at the hospital earlier. Lisa steps in and tries to explain everything, but you can see the disappointment etched on Roy's face. What cuts the deepest isn't Becky's reappearance, it's Carla's involvement in covering it all up. For Roy, trust means everything. And discovering Carla lied stings badly. Later, Lisa tries to patch things up, telling Roy that Carla was only lying to protect her and Betsy. It softens the blow a little. But you know with Roy, once that trust is cracked, it takes time, sometimes years, to rebuild. Fans will remember how long it took him to forgive Haley in the past for keeping things from him. So this could cause a real rift, not just in friendships, but in how the community looks at Carla. We've had family secrets, emotional confrontations, and broken trust already. But next week isn't just about Lisa and Becky. The focus swings towards Carl and his increasingly risky games, Tracy flexing her power, and Todd trying to help Theo hold his world together. And of course, the shadow of Tyrone's accident looms large. Before we head into Carl's shady dealings, let me just say, if you're still watching and enjoying these spoilers, now's the perfect moment to hit that subscribe button. It really helps keep the channel going, and it means you won't miss a single update when the cobbles get even messier. All right, let's talk Carl, because the walls are closing in. 4. Carl tries to cover his tracks. Carl is running out of excuses. He corners Brody for answers about the hit and run, but Brody insists neither he nor Dylan were involved. Brody explains he'd had a seizure, forcing them to ditch the car and head straight to hospital. That should clear Dylan's name, but Carl's mind is racing. He points out that when he went to collect the car, it had already vanished, hinting someone else must have taken it and caused the hit and run. It's clever, but it feels like he's building more lies on top of the old ones. Meanwhile, Dylan's stuck in the middle, pleading his innocence at the police station. It's tense, because you can feel the net tightening. Carl's spinning stories, but for how much longer can he keep everyone at bay? 5. Kit has a warning for Carl. Carl doesn't just have the police to worry about. Kit steps in and makes it crystal clear he's watching him closely. Carl tries to act cool, but you can tell he's rattled. Later, Abby admits she's worried the car that hit Tyrone might have been Fiona's. That sends Carl into overdrive. He tells Fiona he had no choice but to torch the car. But guess who spots them together? Kit. The moment Kit clocks Carl hanging around with a known criminal, the alarm bells ring louder than ever. He presses Carl, asking why he's suddenly thick as thieves with Fiona. Carl tries to fob him off, but viewers know Kit's not one to let things slide. If he keeps digging, Carl's whole scheme could unravel any day now. Tracy demands more money. While Carl's scrambling, Tracy's doing what Tracy does best, twisting the knife. She takes pure delight in reminding Carl that his next payment is due. But then, she switches tactics and tells Abby she wants the full amount up front. Abby relays this to Carl, and he decides to call Tracy's bluff, offering just $500. Tracy isn't having it. She makes it clear she's the one in control here. But then her own world takes a hit when Preston's Petals is trashed by a masked thug. Was it Carl sending a message? Was it someone else entirely? Either way, Tracy suddenly has bigger problems than blackmail. But let's be honest, has Tracy ever let a setback stop her? This could push her into even more dangerous territory. Todd and Theo move in together on a lighter note. There is some sweetness tucked between all the chaos. Todd and Theo take the plunge and move into the corner shop flat together. It's a big step, and they're buzzing with excitement as they set up their new home. George swings by with beers to toast the new chapter, and Todd warmly invites him to stay for a drink. But the atmosphere turns a bit chilly. Theo doesn't look thrilled at the idea. It's subtle, but you can sense there could be clashes ahead between Theo and George. Todd, as usual, will be stuck in the middle trying to keep the peace. 8. Todd tries to help Theo. The honeymoon glow doesn't last long. After attending a child custody meeting, Theo's shaken. He vows to fight for access to his kids, but he quietly admits to Todd that he's worried. The flat's a bit rough round the edges, and he fears Danielle could use it against him in court. Todd won't let him face it alone. He rallies Billy, George, and Brian, and the four of them set about sprucing the place up. They clean, polish, and brighten it until it feels homely. Afterwards, they crack open snacks and music, enjoying a rare upbeat moment. But when Theo walks in and sees the mini-party, how will he take it? Will he see the effort and love behind it, or feel his space has been invaded? Either way, it shows just how much Todd cares. He's fighting in Theo's corner, no matter how messy it gets. We've reached the final act, and this is where things hit hardest. Tyrone's accident has been bubbling away in the background, but next week it explodes into the forefront with scenes that could leave viewers genuinely shaken. Tyrone receives a shock. Tyrone wakes up in hospital, but relief quickly turns to terror. He realizes he can't feel his legs. In a panic, he urges Fizz to fetch a doctor immediately. It's one of those raw, heartbreaking moments Corrie does so well, a beloved character suddenly facing a nightmare scenario. He's rushed in for surgery, and all the while Fizz is clinging to hope, desperate for good news. Later, she calls home to update the family, but the weight of it all is heavy. Viewers might remember when Tyrone was younger. He's always been the fighter, the grafter, the man who fixes everyone else's problems. Seeing him helpless in a hospital bed is gut-wrenching. 10. Tyrone is worried about Fizz after the operation. Evelyn visits Tyrone, and he finally lets his guard down. He confides his deepest fear, that he could be stuck like this for months, maybe longer. And while he's terrified for himself, his bigger worry is Fizz. He knows how much strain it'll put on her, juggling the kids, the house, and now his care on top of it all. For Tyrone, being a burden is unthinkable. Evelyn, in her own blunt but loving way, listens. She tries to reassure him, but you can see the fear in his eyes. It's classic Corrie, mixing love, family, and hardship all in one. This storyline is going to test the Dobbs State family like never before, and I think viewers will be deeply invested in seeing how they cope. So that's next week on Coronation Street, 15 to 19 September. 10 storylines filled with lies, secrets, heartbreak, and hope. From Lisa pushing for the truth, to Carl's lies teetering on the edge, Tracy being Tracy, and Tyrone's terrifying hospital battle, the street is bursting with drama. I'd love to know what you think. Should Lisa finally tell Betsy everything? Will Carl finally get caught out? And most of all, how do you think Tyrone's story will play out? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I always enjoy reading your takes. And if you haven't already, please like the video, hit subscribe, and tap the bell so you don't miss what's coming next on the Cobbles. Thanks for sticking with me, and I'll see you for the next round of spoilers.